grandmother. We lived in Knoxville, Tennessee at that time. She lived over in Oakdale. Inside Neyland Stadium. Not too loud. Might be dogs.
That's why I come from Warhead.
They may have dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to stop a few minutes here at this place. This is an abbey that's been destroyed, obviously, for some time. But this is a filming location of a famous scene in The Quiet Man of where Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne were, I guess, on their first time outing without a chaperone. And they went up onto a large hill, and it started raining, if you recall the scene, and they got out of the rain a little bit. John Wayne was all wet, and they ended up kissing each other. Famous scene. From the outside, it doesn't look that large, but this is very large. And there's many passageways through this. This countryside is gorgeous, by the way. So green. And this is out in the middle of nowhere. So happy we came today. Very pretty, sunny. And what's so neat is we're all by ourselves. Now this abbey is really amazing. It's like a labyrinth. There's rooms everywhere, and there's, I guess, burial tablets everywhere. A lot of it I cannot read because I think it's in Gaelic or maybe Old English, I'm not sure. But this is just one little room off to the side. And I imagine some kind of altar in here. So like I said, this was originally an abbey. I don't know how many it housed. I'm going to have to do a little bit of a research and history research on this. But you have to bend down your head everywhere you go. But all these tablets are tombs and burial locations. And just I'm going to take a little bit more walk through here. Isn't this gorgeous? Just the work, the hand, the skill to do this. Just another one of the little rooms that's all over this. The beautiful picture out through there. And the stonework, I don't know if you can see it, just every little detail. And of course, over the years, the weather has really destroyed a lot of it, I'm sure. I'm not sure, but I think it's 1300s, 1500s. And I imagine there was some kind of stained glass in this at one point. I don't know if I can go up there or not, but I think I will try a little bit later. Good morning. I'm in the city of Cong. It's actually a little small town, but I'm starting to walk to a place called Pigeonhole Cave, and it's through the woods. So as we go, I might do a little filming on the way. But we're now just beginning our walk, and I'm starting here at the Museum to the Quiet Man. A little bit more cloudy today. I think there's a chance of rain. It's about a 30-minute walk. Famous photo here. John Wayne, Marine O'Hare. I stopped at the ruins of a church here. This is a cemetery outside of it. And then you can tell it's right on the edge of Cong. This is the Cong Abbey, founded around 1200 AD. And I did a little bit of reading, and that gate there is where the congregation would come on assigned times, and they would all publicly confess their sins. I just don't think I'd want to do that, to confess my sins publicly before everybody. They were serious back in the day. I'm going to be walking that way, and this is going to what I consider to be a beautiful walk. And we're going to Pigeonhole, I can't remember the whole name, but I know it's called Pigeonhole. And we'll be walking down some steep steps down to a underwater stream. I'm going to be walking to the Pigeonhole Cave here, and then around this way. This is called the Cong Woods. I actually think this is one of the prettier walks here in the village of Cong. You'll see some large trees. I don't know what kind they are, but they're beautiful. It's a little bit, I don't know, drizzling right now. I think later it's supposed to be nicer. But I believe this is where the friars would come to fish, in this little small abode. I believe I read where they would drop down a net inside here, and they would catch fish as they would come through that little hole. Last time I was here, there were some beautiful swans up in that area. Maybe we will see some today. I'm going to walk over to the monk's fish house. And obviously they would come in here, and this was covered, but they'd have a fire. And I believe this is where they would drop down a net of some sort to catch the fish. And step down. I believe these are redwoods, because they say they rival the ones out west. I don't know if they're quite as tall as the ones in the west part of the United States. But the structure seems to be like redwoods. Hear the birds. I hope you can. Just walking through the forest on our way to Pigeonhole Cave. And of course, as usual, the camera cannot do justice to what you see, hear, or smell. This is one large, beautiful tree here. I guess I'll just kind of go close to it, put my hand on it so you can see how large it really is. This is going to be a kind of a woodsy video. This is on the walk on the way to the Pigeonhole Cave. Beautiful rock formation among the trees. This is not Pigeonhole Cave, but this is the cave that we saw as we walked up on our way. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let you see where we came from. And I'll walk back to our path. But it was just too pretty to pass up. I had to show this. This is the entrance to Pigeonhole Cave. And last year, or 2 years ago, we could come right through the gate. But right now it looks like we have to come through this little fence. So we are walking down. You have to hold on to the side, but they do have some steps. You have to walk around this. I'm glad they have this railing to hold on to, because there's mud on the steps. They could be very slippery. Oh, now last time we were here, this was a stream of water coming through, and now there's no water. I don't know what's happened. And you can see that the people have done some marking in the rocks. Very interesting. This is James Jennings, April the 27th, 1881. But I really do, I'm somewhat disappointed that there's no water. There's just a little dribble of water coming down. but there was a whole stream last time. But they had had a lot of rain, we were told. I don't know how this is showing up on the light. I'll be walking back up that way. This is the Quiet Man's tour. We're taking our own tour here, but this is where the dying man came out and hobbled down the street because he wanted to come and watch the fight. And now we will go on up. Next we'll go to I think the town cross. And then we'll see some of the houses and the other churches, and I'll try to identify what they were in the movie. This is where McLean was in the buggy, and they stopped right here. And John Wayne and them went on, but McLean went into the bar here at Pat Colhan's. And of course the cross, you see this prominent in the movie. It has 1350 on it. Yes. And we believe that's the door that they went in to go into the pub. Let's go in here, sir. I'm now walking to the location where in the movie Sean Thornton and Will Danaher had their famous fight where John Wayne knocked him into the water and then pulled him out, and the fight continued. The water's beautiful, really flowing. Seemed like I remember though in the movie the water was not flowing this much. But it took place right here. Last time I was here, the fence wasn't here. And I think, of course, at that time, the grass went right into the water. There was no wall here. We'll walk down just a little bit. Film up towards the bridge. But this is one of the more famous, I think, places in the movie right here. Okay, now I'm going to walk back up toward the church where John Wayne met Maureen O'Hara, and they were playing, I think, patty hands, something like that, in the holy water. In the movie, this was the home of Reverend Playfair. He was the Protestant pastor in the movie. This is the church where John Wayne saw Maria O'Hara. They came out together, and they had a little concrete holder there that held the water, and they were touching the water together. He got the water for her, and they got all over him for playing patty fingers, I think it was. And this is Ashford Castle. We're just sort of taking a walk around the estate. Beautiful. This is where the cast and crew stayed whenever they were filming The Quiet Man. Just a closer view of Ashford Castle. I'm coming up to Guinness Tower, which they call a folly, and actually a lot of follies in UK, but it's where honestly the landowners have so much money they build little places outside their estate. But I think this was used for a watchtower of some sort. But in many cases it's just a structure where they can go out and have a picnic, so to say. I'm going to try to walk up this, and we'll take some videos from up on top. I believe it's circular stairs all the way up, so I won't film it all the way, but so you can see the beginning is here. And then I'll film next when we get to the top. But they do have some lighting on the way up from these openings. A little area near the top. Thought I'd just come in here and videotape. And I'm going to go on up. Steps are very narrow. Built by Guinness in 1864 AD. And almost above the trees, and of course that's the way back down. Thought I'd just stop and film this. It's a pretty little area on the river.